Okay, let's run the pre-start. If I can get the door to close. Here we go. All right, before we fly, we're at Bergstrom Airport on the 7th of January 2012. And I need something to take a note on. There we go.
American 559, turn left taxiway golf, contact ground point and Netter. Good day.
Contact clearance delivery on 125.5. Taxi. Advise on initial contact. You have information uniform.
Uniform. Okay, now we'll get our clearance. Austin clearance, Cardinal 8035 Golf.
Cardinal 8035 Golf, Austin.
8035 Golf, at the signature hangars will be VFR to Hearne, Lima Hotel Bravo up near College Station at 5,500 feet.
Cardinal 35 Golf, just to verify the destination was Lima Hotel Bravo?
That's correct, it's Hearne, I believe that's the right number.
You said it was past College Station?
It's right near there.
Thank you. Cardinal 8035 Golf, squawk 4505, departure frequency 127.22. On departure, maintain VFR below 3,500.
35 Golf, squawk 4505, depart 127.22, remain at or below 3,500.
Cardinal 35 Golf, readback is correct. Uniform is current. Where you parked today?
Charlie 2 near in the signature area.
Have a good flight.
Thanks, sir. Okay, we've got to turn everything off and start the motors. Before start. All right. Okay, let's try. Waiting for fuel pressure. Okay. Clear. Well, that wasn't the prettiest start in aviation history. But I guess it'll do. I should have put the squawk in before I started. But that's good. Okay, looks like the Navy's here in force today. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their, I forget, the T-40 something jets, is that what they are? And then some of their, that's a Texan. They use those for NFO training. The T-6 is single engine turboprops there. The Air Force uses those for pilot training. Okay, a little crowded here tonight, or this evening. The plan is to fly up in the direction of College Station, then come back to Austin, perhaps getting gas at Austin Executive, perhaps not, we'll see. Danger of resting hooks. Whole row of resting hooks there. Okay. Need to run the run up. These instruments are checked. Cabin doors are both locked, which is important in this airplane. Fuel selector's on both, and it is. Mixture does, yeah, make it rich for a second. Box fuel, we know pump works. Trims. Here's the tad of right rudder. Trim is in takeoff position for elevator. 1800 mag check. There's our 1800. Right mag. Just maybe 50 RPMs of drop. Left mag maybe 75.
Austin ground after SR 1458, gate 11 uniform, like to push.
Got vacuum pressure, yes.
Southwest 1458,
yes.
Austin ground advisor to taxi, expect runway 35 right.
35
Okay,
right.
I think we're good to go here. And a Cardinal, you pull the mixture out of fairways to taxi because it gets real rich and it'll foul the plugs if you just drive around with it full on the ground, or even in the air sometimes. Okay. Think, Jim, what else do we need to do? Walking. We need to turn the transponder on when we get to the runway. ADI is set. DG is set. I got that on GPS. This is telling me where I want to go. And the pilot's on. Okay. Austin ground, Cardinal 8035 Golf, spot 3 with uniform.
Cardinal 8035 Golf, Austin ground, runway 35 right, taxi via Bravo.
35 right via Bravo for 35 Golf. So we're going to want to take off that way, so we got to go back that way. And then go back that way. Then go that way.
So for 1450, I guess you have a last couple minutes of bags are low.
Austin Bergstrom has, I think it's roughly a 9,000 foot runway on the east side where we are, and on the other side is the original B-52 runway built in the height of the Cold War in, I guess, the late 50s, 12,500 feet. This runway that we're going to use was added when it became a civil airport. When the Air Force when this was Bergstrom Air Force Base, and I was stationed here for a while, we only had, we actually had the one big runway over there and a little tiny, I say tiny, about a 3,000 foot runway, I think was put there for helicopters. That's still there, but they don't use it anymore. Come down here, I've done my run up. We'll just do one quick pre-flight check and then we'll see if we can go. It doesn't look like they're very busy right now. It looks like I should be able to go right away. I always taxi down here to the end of the run-up area because if Southwest is behind me, you know, and there's 150 people in that airplane, I'll generally let it go first. I want parked right in the middle so they can't get by. I don't mind paying an extra, $5 to let a whole airline full of people not hate general aviation. But it doesn't look like there's anybody behind me. Okay, before takeoff check. If you take off without your transponder on at this airport, they get cranky. So you got to remember that. Okay, flaps, power. I think we're good to go. Austin Tower, Cardinal 8035 Golf's ready on the right.
Cardinal 8035 Golf, Austin Tower, turn right heading 050, runway 35 right, clear for takeoff. Traffic Skyhawk, 2.5 mile right base.
Okay, got a Skyhawk on base, 35 Golf is cleared for takeoff. No wind, look at that, there's just some smoke over there, it's just going straight up until about 2,000 feet. We should be off the ground pretty expeditiously. Could be smooth, I hope. We might not be, though. When it's calm, sometimes you get a lot of vertical pillars of air. Let me concentrate on taking off here. I always feel a little intimidated in this little tiny airplane, those gigantic runways here. Alright, here we go. Mixture rich, prop in. Here comes the throttle. Okay, we got to Golf frequency change.
Cardinal 35 Golf frequency, remain my frequency. I have to hand you off to the next controller.
Roger.
Delta 2066 traffic.
Well, I'm VFR, so that's technically not true. I'm not going to argue with him. He's saturated right now.
2066.
Flagship 3289, descend and maintain 6,000.
What he's...
Descend and maintain 6,000, flagship 3289.
So they've set up flight following for me with Houston Center. They didn't ask for it, but I kind of knew because the 4505 squawk is a center squawk. But, you know, when I took off, there was no traffic, and then all of a sudden, like 5 airliners showed up, and that's how the American airline system works. I'd like to open my flight plan.
Mike, Roger. So 3 Echo Sierra, contact approach on 125.32. Cardinal 8035 Golf, you can contact Houston approach now on 134.3.
134.3, Houston approach.
Yes, sir.
35 Golf. That's right, Houston approach controls the College Station area. Or let's call them up and then I'll see if I can get the flight plan on the other radio. Houston approach, Cardinal 8035 Golf, 5,500.
Cardinal 8035 Golf, Houston approach, the eastward altimeter 29908. Correction, 29999.
2999, 35 Golf. Okay, let's find my takeoff time. It's in here somewhere. 2238. San Angelo Radio, Cardinal 8035 Golf. San Angelo Radio, Cardinal 8035 Golf, 122.55.
Cardinal November 8035 Golf, San Angelo Radio.
35 Golf has a flight plan from Austin Bergstrom to Austin Executive via Hearne, Lima Hotel Bravo, and we departed at 2238Z. I'd like you to open that, please.
Okay, November 8035 Golf, I got you activated at 2238. That was 18 minutes ago. What is your position, sir? I'll get you on position.
I'm currently 34 miles northeast of Bergstrom.
Cessna 693 traffic, no factor off the left.
693 looking for traffic.
Limited 3001. We do appreciate pipe ports. Additional weather contact by watch 122.0. Your flight plan is active. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Okay, well, departure festivities are all over now. What I just did was this is really unnecessary. I just did it to kind of get back in the habit of doing it. I filed a VFR flight plan, which is really just a request for search and rescue. If I don't, when I get back, when I get back to Austin Executive, I have to call them on the phone and say, hey, I've landed safely, and then they'll just close the flight plan. If I don't call them, they'll call the airport and say, hey, did 35 Golf ever show up? If the airport was to say no, they would actually start a search and rescue for me. So in this case, I didn't really need it because without being asked, they went ahead and, even though on visual flight rules they don't have to do it, they went ahead and offered me radar flight following all the way to Hearne, which is coming up pretty soon, really.
Contact Waco approach on 127.65. 2765, thank you.
$30 miles and going at ground speed. Oh, I'm smoking. 142. I was looking at this GPS. Got 12 minutes to go. I'm going to have to start down. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm going to do a touch and go, or probably a full stop and taxi back at the Hearne Airport, which I can see over there now. Hearne's an interesting airport. It's the runway is 7,000 feet long. Now they only maintain 4,000 of it these days because it was a jet auxiliary base for Ellington when Ellington was a a very busy National Guard base, and pilots like Lieutenant George Bush were learning to fly the F-102s and F-106s they had out of there, and they'd come over here to practice. So you've got this giant piece of asphalt with a couple of little buildings on it and a few hangars. Very interesting, really, to people who like this kind of thing. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot and fly it like a man. I could just go straight here for a base leg, but I'm going to go ahead and do a full pattern just for the practice. And there's no traffic or anything. I'll just do a base leg from here. There's no traffic here. Current traffic, Cardinal 35 Golf on an extended base leg, runway 36 Hearne.
Hillsborough traffic.
The frequency I'm on is called a Unicom, or more correctly, a CTAF Common Traffic Advisory Frequency.
Hearne Municipal, the Decathlon 5 Sierra Code. Entering long downwind, 35, Carter.
Decathlon, the Cardinal has you inside. I'm going to fall in behind you and break off this big base leg. I didn't think anybody would be here. Fall in behind a guy. I don't want to cut in front of him.
9 Alpha, you get me inside. Negative.
Yeah, C-mount over there. I don't want to interfere with him. And Decathlon and Hearne, verify you're going to do a downwind for 36.
Roger that.
No, I thought I saw him, but I didn't. It'd be the shits to have midair right out here. The airplane's in the middle. No.
Single traffic, 79 Tango Sierra, right base to final one.
Traffic, Cardinal 35 Golf. I'm on a 45 degree, about to enter a left downwind 36 at Hearne. I have no other traffic in sight right now. Slow down here so I put the gear down. Gear's time. Where the hell is he? I wonder if he's really at this airport, just didn't know what. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time somebody didn't know what it, didn't understand how Unicom works. Kind of nerve-wracking. I don't think he was really at Hearne. He said he was, but I don't think he was. This is where I'll hit him if he is. Get around here real fast. Make that wing flash. Hopefully if there's any traffic, they'll see it. I see me. A little bit high, probably. Not the flaps. Rock the wings. Get some motion. No, I came off the power a little too soon. No aids here. You can see the black, maybe you can see in the camera, the black asphalt is the maintained part of it, and the gray is the old Air Force runway that's not really maintained. It has grass and stuff growing through it. Okay. Shouldn't be much wind. Okay. Flaps. No wind. No wind. Power off. Blair, whoa! Wow, that's not how we're supposed to do that. Well, it would have been a good short field landing. I'll say it was intentionally a short field landing. Because I usually try to do a little smooth. Oh, missed the turnoff. Damn it. I have to drive down. Maybe not. Maybe I can salvage this. Yay, me! I can salvage it. That's what I mean by short field. In other words, I was able to make the midfield turn off. But I had to use the brakes some. Pull the flaps up. Put them down to takeoff position. We're going to take right back off. They got new T-hangers here. These were here the last time I was here. Where's the little building? Oh, they've overhauled the little building and repainted it. It's gray now. That little building was original Air Force. That little gray building to the right of the, well, so you probably can't see it. Some old ancient hangars down there at the end. Brand new ones here. Looks like they might have some kind of maintenance here. My understanding is a sheriff's deputy lived, at least last time I was out here and talked to the locals, which was a couple of years ago, a sheriff's deputy lived in the house here in the airport to discourage kids from going out here and racing down the runway in the middle of the night.